a dry spot of dried up alcohol ink and showing how to manipulate that and create movement from that spot. So hang on. Howdy howdy everyone, this is Clara Lawrence. All right, we're going to do another series of alcohol ink basics. Today I'm going to work with creating a dry puddle and pushing it out from there as far as creating your movement and your designs from there. So first off, we're going to build up some colors. So I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol in the middle. And today we're going to go bright pink. This is Fiesta, I have to admit, one of my favorites, or new favorites. And I'm going to put several drops here. I want to build up some colors. I'm gonna go. This is a great way to develop a couple different colors. Let's see. This is also a purple and some gold. Fiesta. Why not? This time I'm going to put some brass right on top. Yeah, kind of a splash color. Right, kind of saw it bubbling underneath. I'm using a heavyweight UFO, so it does not, let me rephrase that. It handles the heat better. If it does bow any, you just let it cool off and then it'll flatten out nicely. So not to worry, but the medium, however, will get the waves. So if you want the waves, that's what you do. All right, now I do recommend like a little bottle that you can have some type of precision with adding little bits of alcohol ink on this. So I'm going to talk about what I'm doing here. I'm going to add a little bit of ink. I need a pen or I use my, this will work. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of alcohol to the edge. Let me zoom in. So I'm going to add a couple drops here. Move it around in here and it's going to collect and pick up some of the alcohol, some of the ink, and then I'm going to push it with pressure from the dryer going this direction. Let me zoom out, let me zoom my hand a bit. So I'm going to put some pressure with the dryer going at a diagonal direction, and then the ink's going to naturally want to go out this way. And then what I can do is go the other direction this way and push the ink back. So that kind of technique will give you little runners, you want to call it. And by pulling it back, we'll redeposit some of the darker colors back to the center, leaving lighter colors down at the end. So sometimes the colors will run to the edge of your little runners. In other words, they may run to this edge or this edge, and creating some nice shapes and stuff. And that works really well with petals or designs, diagonal designs. So let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna put pretty good blob here, technical term, probably like 3 or 4 little drops. And I'm gonna come in at an angle and push it out. Hurting those ink molecules. All right, I'm gonna do some over here. People are using this kind of a technique a lot for flowers. If you get another little strand, just don't worry about it. Keep on the original one. What will happen is you'll get some multicolors in there because of the pink and the purples. Let's see if I can push that out in the middle. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's the paper here. If you go at a steep angle like this, it's going to get pushed more aggressively. If you're going at a little bit of a, I don't think you can see that. Let's see now. Get back to 100. Okay. So here's the paper. If I'm going at a steep angle this way, your ink's going to want to go think like that. So you pull back, have some distance, and you can also push down at an angle that's getting more horizontal with the paper, and that will drive your ink across. That's kind of what I'm doing there. All right. Don't be afraid to flip your paper around if it makes it easier. Definitely does for me. Purple blend coming out and seeing the pink also. And what you can also do is pull your dryer from this position way up high, so that way it gently dries it, and you can maintain that blend. So height is a little bit more of a passive drying, whereas coming down closer is a little bit more aggressive. So when you get the shape you want, go to more of a passive position. Yeah, I'm getting like therapeutic on my inks. So you can go a pretty good distance. Very gently bringing it on back. adding the alcohol there, giving it a little bit of time to reactivate those colors before I turn on the dryer. So what I'm going to do here is, this area here didn't get going so well, but I've got enough overlap here that I'm happy with. I might end up dropping in some darker colors and try to blend them out as like little bits. Let's see. Okay. So I've got some pitch black here and some alcohol. So I'm going to add a couple drops of alcohol in there. And then some black. I'm going to try and dry that around in the center zone again. gives you an idea of how to push and pull with starting off with the dried center area. Now we could finish this off with a bunch of different ways. People do painted bits in the center, dollop, or even try and do a center piece. Let's see. Center point. In my head too much. Let me get a plate. Put a little bit of this gold here on this plate. I think I'm going to add some more gold to it. And just get something to... Basically, we're just going to be dotting around. I usually like to have an area that is darker than the other area, just to kind of make it seem like it is getting a little light. Let's see. Not the perfect flower, but it shows what I'm trying to show. So you can see how that works out. Now, you gotta share what you do, but this is the technique for basically pushing it out and pushing it back in, and be mindful of the direction of your dryer or airbrush or whatever tool you're using at the time to push your airbrush. Remember, this kind of an angle will make it go like that if you're too close, but more of a moving, remember you're kind of trying to hurt it, so you go in at a side thing and you add pressure and you'll see it start to move. When it starts moving, back off a little bit and you'll see it continue to move. If it stalls, then you move in closer. And that's how you do it. You're just you're driving the alcohol inks away from you. And that's how you can do this. And you can get fairly straight lines too, if you're mindful of it. But with the petals, a lot of times petals will go wider and then skinnier. So you might put in a little bit more pressure in the beginning to fatten it out, and then pull back on your dryer to skinny up the lines and taper them down towards the ends. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's go. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, but definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video. There you go.